Hello, it's me, it's Craig. I'm flooded. How are you? I just wanted to say hi. Thought I'd drop by and say hi. But more than that, Good Morning Britain, which is a much loved morning show here in the UK. Only been suffering viewing figures, allegedly, a tiny wee bit, ever since Piers Morgan quit. Piers Morgan quit the show as the one of two anchors. And he quit because Meghan Markle called his boss and says, I want an apology or you better sack him. So Meghan Markle called the boss of ITV, which we've all got her number. We can all call the boss of ITV if we're not happy about something. So Morgan refuses to apologise and says, right, well, I'm off, which is probably the best career move he's ever made. And I'm sure is going to do huge things, huger than the huge things he's already done. So there, Good Morning Britain then had a bit of a void to fill. And they've been filling it with this chap here. His name is Adil Ray, and he's an actor, a comedic actor. Not hugely popular with me. I've certainly questioned stuff he said, and his response was blocked. I'm always super polite when I speak to people, and it's always disappointing. He cannot bear to hear people he disagrees with, because he's right. In his head, he's right about everything. Anyway, Daily Record are saying that he's not being very popular. Good Morning Britain viewers switch off as they find host Adil Ray annoying. The 46-year-old has been filling in since Piers Morgan quit and has been hosting the breakfast show alongside Susanna Reid. But on Wednesday morning, Good Morning Britain viewers flocked to Twitter to admit they weren't enjoying watching him. One person posted, ugh, Adil Ray on GMB turning off. Annoying, biased, rubbish presenter. Oh, and Villa fan. Another tweeted, Adil Ray, because mornings aren't bad enough as it is. Good Morning Britain. I'm doing Scottish because this is a Scottish newspaper. Another added, Adil Ray obviously thinks he's some sort of pioneering journalist. I'm sure there was an equal amount of people saying he was fab. So I don't know if this is a fair representation. I don't like him, though. I think he is biased. I don't agree with just his view and his perspective. But more than that, producer Cap, there needs to be two sides of the coins anchoring the show. And now we've got two kind of left-wing presenters doing that. So it is tough watching. But the person replacing him, Good Morning Britain tweeted this out. Let's have a wee watch. I'll mute my mic.
Joining me next week, a special guest presenter, someone to provoke strong reaction and lively debate, to tackle the big issues and speak in a language real people understand.
Enough of answering questions. It's my turn to ask them.
Alastair Campbell guest presents with Susanna Reid next week on Good Morning Britain.
Speaking a language, what?
Provoke strong reaction and lively debate, to tackle the big issues and speak in a language real people understand.
I don't know about you, but she doesn't look happy at all about anything. There's no... I don't know what's happened to her. There used to be a lot of playfulness in her presenting style, and now it's very serious. I think she must be planning to go.
Presenter, someone...
Or are they just trying to be a bit more highbrow, perhaps? I'm not sure, but she is not happy. I wouldn't be surprised if we either see the show being axed or we see Susanna quit. If she quits the show, I don't know. The future's not great. It's not I mean, they used to constantly boast about winning awards, and it's kind of like embarrassing that it was all down to Piers Morgan, who everyone hated. But the thing is about him, he made good telly because, it's kind of like, what's it called? When you rubbernecking, you sort of watch it and you sort of, when you're driving your car and there's a massive catastrophic accident on the other side of the road, you look over, go slow down a little bit, just have a good look, see, what's happened there? There's something terrific's happened. Somebody's probably been seriously hurt, but you sort of have a good look anyway. It gets your attention. That's what I found this show to be. Morgan's interviewing technique to completely make everything about him in his interviews. They weren't really. I very rarely found them interviews. I found them a series of him taking the opportunity to tell somebody what he thought of them, which isn't really an interview. It's fun to watch, but it's terrible journalism. Great telly. So that's happening. But who's Alastair Campbell, I hear you ask? That's him there. What a lovely fella. A smart guy, super smart guy. Tony Blair described him as a genius. Now, why would Tony Blair do that? Well, because I think it was, what year was it? 97 that Labour won the general election and we had a Labour government in the UK, and people were generally very, very happy. I was delighted, and because it was like something new. And, you know, this is pretty much the guy who led the media to sort of back Labour, even turning the Sun, which was a massively Thatcherite newspaper, to support Labour. Now, this guy, he can convince you to do anything he wants you to do, and that's what's dangerous about him. So beware, nation, as this guy takes to the screens. There's a very famous interview he did with Adam Bolton. It wasn't really an interview, it was an argument he had on air on Sky News. Adam Bolton is the main Sky News anchor. He's actually being a bit of a guest in this sequence, but I've just paused it just before Adam completely loses it. And it's just worth watching. Notice how Alastair Campbell handles it, which is he makes it... because the person who loses it immediately loses the argument and starts to look like the fool. Watch this.
No, but what does he do? What does he do? He just sort of says, right, here you go, David Cameron, come on in. You didn't actually get the vote you should have done. You didn't get the majority you said you were going to do.
You got a lot more votes and seats
Yes,
than
I know.
me.
Adam, you're obviously upset that David Cameron's not
I'm
Prime
not
Minister.
upset.
You are. You probably are.
Come
Deep down, you
on,
probably are.
don't keep
Alistair,
casting aspersions on
Alistair.
what I
Adam,
think.
calm down.
I am commenting.
Calm
Don't
down.
keep saying
Oh,
what
my
I
God.
think.
So I'm going to pause it. I know you're like, oh no, don't pause it. What are you doing? I'll play it from start again, but don't worry. But I just want to point out what's happening. He says, I know you're upset. So that's personal. He stopped talking about the situation, started talking about how Adam feels. And then he looks at him like this. Oh, his faked concern eyes. And he's, what's the word for it? When you make out somebody's going a bit mad or he's losing it. Not straw manning.
You are. You probably are. Deep down, you probably are.
Don't keep casting aspersions on what I think.
Calm down.
I am commenting.
Calm
Don't
down.
keep saying what
God.
I think.
This is live on
No,
television.
don't keep telling me what I think. This is what you do. You come on, you say,
no,
one won the election.
Jerry,
Well, yours
Alistair,
really did
Alistair,
well.
you're-
No, don't. You talk to me. I'm fed up with you telling me what I think.
I don't care what you're fed
think
up
that.
with. I don't care what you're fed up with. You can think what you like. I can tell you my opinion.
Don't tell me what I think.
I will tell you why I think you're reacting
Alistair,
so
you're being
badly. No, I'm
very.
not, Jeremy.
you are being a bit provocative here, and
Well,
unnecessarily
sometimes
so.
politics is about
Yeah.
passionate things. Here's
Right. He's saying he's saying he's been provocative about politics. He's not. He's criticising an individual. Now, I'm not. I sound like I'm on the side of Adam Bolton here. I'm not, because Adam Bolton is a bit of a bully, just follow his Twitter feed. He comes across as not being a nice guy. Maybe he is. I don't know. But he comes across as not being, and that is maybe, his responsibility. A bit of PR could be done in that area. Why journalists are allowed to tweet what they like is amazing to me, unless a news station is openly biased, which, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think you have to kind of declare it. And if you are openly biased, then I think you immediately stop being a journalist and you start being an activist. And my belief is that any activist, you cannot change the mind of an activist. They won't have their mind changed, nor will they entertain your opinion for long. They certainly won't repeat it, because there's no there's no middle ground in activism, really. But Alastair, you can see what Alastair Campbell's doing here. He's totally manipulating the situation. I wish I could remember the name of the word for when you undermine what somebody's saying by making out they're a bit crazy. I bet you know it. Put it down in the comments. Remind me what it is. I can't remember the word to describe that when it happens. So this guy is going to be replacing Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain, and I'm going to see how it goes. It happens tomorrow. He's temporary, apparently. I expect he will use it to boost his profile. So mark my words. Let's watch what happens. Let's see what he does, what tricks he employs, and I'll be keeping an eye on it as well through clips on Twitter. And if he does anything interesting, I'll report on it here. Let's see what happens. For now, from me, see you later.
You are fake news.